Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we have a very special video. This is the 10,000 subscriber special. Now, can't say I ever really expected to be here in front of all of you talking about 10,000 subscribers. It's kind of crazy. So we're here. I set up a Q&A. I took some of the questions, maybe about 20 to 25 questions off of posts and videos that I've had over the last few months and put them into a little video. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Hopefully there's a lot of questions that are answered, perhaps. Maybe I'll fill in a little bit here and there, kind of more about me. And then I have a surprise at the end of the video for you all. So be sure to stick around for that. So I hope you all enjoy. So our first question comes from Two Blades Z27. Hey Mike, it's been great to see your videos. As for my question, what's your favorite Wintermute episode and what's your prediction for episode 6? Okay. P.S. I love the videos. I'm very much looking forward to seeing a new episode come out for the calm playthrough. And P.P.S. I will watch your Wintermute videos tonight as I have a snowstorm coming in. Wish me luck. Hey man, yeah, I hope if you had a snowstorm, I hope you got a lot of snow if you like snow. And if you don't like snow, I hope it hope it rained for you. But yeah, so great questions here. So favorite Wintermute episode, huh? I'm gonna have to say episode 4. As of the time I'm recording this, we haven't gotten to 4, but I did play 4 a while ago, and I do remember it being one of my more favorite ones. I did like the fact that there's more conflict in 4, and there's just a lot more character design and flow in the episode, and the cliffhanger at the end was really good as well. So that would probably be what I have to say for my favorite Wintermute episode. And my prediction for episode 6, this is kind of a hot take, but I don't think they're going to make an episode 6, if you want my personal opinion. I think they're going to stop at 5. I think episode 5 is where they're going to really tie up those loose ends. So there's not going to be really any more mystery, I don't think. So that's why I also think that episode 5 is going to be probably the most anticipated episode out of the entire Long Dark history. So pretty excited for that, and thank you for the question. All right, the next question. Did you have any hobbies that correlate with you playing the Long Dark? And what are some tips for players trying to play in a more difficult mode? Also, will you play other games in the future as well, or maybe stream? Okay. Um, so hobbies that correlate to the Long Dark, I really don't know. I do like being outside a lot, especially when it's warm, which I know is kind of the opposite of the long dark. But you know, being outside in nature, taking walks, I go camping a lot in the summer with my friends. So that could probably be, you know, spending time outside correlating with the long dark, which is, you know, I've always kind of developed that respect for nature, which I will say is definitely correlates with the long dark. Tips for new players on a difficult game mode. I did make a 10 tips video, so I'll probably just refer you to that. But if I had to pick one really quickly, I would say collect absolutely everything in the beginning. It is going to be useful one way or another, maybe except for things like spray paint. But even then, if you're a new player, you might use spray paint to help map out a lot of the terrain that you're unfamiliar with. So, yeah, my tip for a more difficult mode, definitely just grab absolutely everything because you will need it at some point. Will you play other games in the future as well as maybe stream? I actually have thought about streaming. I'm not going to lie. I do like streaming too because it definitely sets me more on a schedule, which is kind of a double-edged sword for me because being on a schedule obviously helps me as a college student, but as a college student, I'm very busy. So I wouldn't maybe be okay with like being tied to stream times um, because having that commitment is good, but it's also just like, hey, you know, I gotta push aside homework and make sure I get all that done first before I do anything like that. So, to more answer that question, yes, I have thought about streaming. Is it coming in the future? Perhaps, but I think as of right now, I definitely am going to stick to more of the YouTube video format. But if I decide to stream, you guys will obviously be the first to know. All right, for the next question, would you ever do a tornado chase? I love the idea. It seems like so much fun, but on the other hand, I'm afraid I'd be successful. So I do chase tornadoes. I don't know if you guys know, but I do go to college basically in the heart of Tornado Alley in Oklahoma. So we get a lot of tornadoes. Severe weather season starts pretty early here. So yeah, I'm on tornado chases quite a bit. Do I ever like maybe want to make a video? of a tornado chase for you guys? Potentially. Maybe one day. Oh, that'd be so cool. Yeah, but I've gotten so much like kind of, I guess, content from tornado chasing and just lightning over here in general. Oh my goodness, so many photos and such. Um, it's definitely it's a competition for sure. There's a lot of people who storm chase just for the thrill, and that's okay to a point, but when you start getting dangerous, it gets kind of tough and not enjoyable. Um, Especially when people drive irresponsibly, which is definitely probably you'd think the tornado, right, would be the number one threat for storm chasing, but no, it's other idiots on the road, to say the very least. So, do I ever tornado chase? Yes, I do. And would I ever maybe post a video for you guys? Potentially, potentially. We'll have to see. We shall see. But thank you for that question. I like that question. All right, next we have, as a fellow meteorology student, what do you love about this profession? For me, it is recognizing the signs of a hazard, like for an example of identifying the elements of fog and rime. Well, living along the coast of New England, I definitely understand the fascination of fog. That is, it's a pretty cool phenomenon. But so, as a meteorology student, I think what I love the most about this profession is the fact that it absolutely impacts everybody. You know, that is the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning and walk out the door is you feel the weather. So it's completely relevant to absolutely everybody. And what I'm trying to go for, either hurricane research or a TV broadcast meteorologist, so those people you see on the news, is that it's so relevant to everybody, right? Everybody needs a weather person on TV to get their information from. It's a very, very easy source of information. And with hurricane research, if I were to say research something and find some groundbreaking data, that could be used to save life and property. So I think that's what I like most about this profession, just kind of how much variety you have within it and the potential to help a lot of people and prevent a lot of damage too is also such a win. So no, I definitely love that aspect about meteorology. Thank you for the question. Next, have you thought about renting a fire outlook or cabin and making the Long Dark inspired first person view adventure video out of it? It'd also be a great place to talk about weather patterns. It definitely would. Oh my goodness, what an idea that would be, huh? I don't know where I would go for that though. I guess like close to me would be like, well, close to home would be like somewhere in Maine, New Hampshire, or Vermont. But oh my goodness, that would be the coolest idea. You know what though? I mean, I see other YouTubers do it. So I mean, why can't I? Once I'm out of college and don't have as many responsibilities as I do now. That's a great question, actually. I might just look into that. Yeah, thank you for bringing that to my attention. That might be something of interest later on down the line. But no, great question. That's something to think about for sure. Next up, we have what other games do you play? And also, do you have a community Discord? So I don't have a Discord. I'm kind of a stranger to Discord. I have it just for friends, but I hardly use it. So I'm really not a user of Discord. Eventually, once I start getting a little bigger, perhaps, the next few thousand subscribers, maybe, potentially. But I think right now, I'm definitely a little alienated with Discord. But so what other games do I play? As a college student, I don't play other games too often. I really don't. I do find myself playing a lot of Minecraft. I play Minecraft a lot, modded, more specifically. And then I also play COD, Call of Duty Zombies, which is, I do enjoy that if I'm playing it with friends as well. But those are really the two games that I play. 7 Days to Die also makes an appearance here or there whenever I do have time. But besides that, it's really just homework, studying, and watching YouTube. I hate to say it, but it's really just that. All right, with our next few questions here. So question one being, with co-op confirmed for Black Frost, The Long Dark 2, are you planning to play with other content creators and slash or the community, or would you prefer to play solo? So answering that first question there, I actually did see that it is confirmed it's going to be co-op. So that's actually really intriguing. In terms of playing with other people, I think at first I just want to play alone just to grab the basics. But definitely as the game kind of stays out over the next few months after its release, I would be so down playing with other people. I think that would be really fun, especially content creators as well. So yeah, that is definitely something I am thinking about heavily. Question two, will you consider live streaming sometime in the future as a side hobby? Yes. Yes, I know I answered this question earlier, but yes, I do want to live stream at some point in the future, as a side hobby potentially. But I know you can live stream and then upload those videos to YouTube, so it would definitely still be an episodic format. But yes, I would love to live stream sometime in the future. Question three: are there other survival type games you've been wanting to try out? Not really. I haven't seen any insane ones that I've had time for, that I've seen and I'm like, I need to drop everything, including my homework. I need to drop it and play this game. I haven't really seen any games like that. Now, obviously, Black Frost is one I'm waiting for, but other than that, just the usual 7 Days to Die, Minecraft, all that good stuff. So I haven't really been wanting to try out anything as of lately. Question four: do you have any notable goals you're wanting to achieve for in 2025? Now, that's a good question. I kind of just think my goals right now for 2025 are just to keep my academics up. I've had a long history, especially in high school, of being just that very, very, C, D student in terms of grades. So in college, I've kind of made a pledge to myself that I would at least try to step it up. And I've been doing really good. I've got all A's so far, which is amazing. Um, but I think that's just my main goal for 2025 is to try to sustain those good grades and hopefully continue to post somewhat regularly on the channel. I know it's tough as a college student to maintain a schedule, but I do try my best. So I think those are kind of my goals for this year. And lastly, question five: I figured the Deadman mode is backlogged for now due to scheduling conflicts. I wanted to ask if you plan to return to this in the future. I do plan on returning to it. It is in the backseat for now just because of what you said, scheduling conflicts, but no, it is coming back. I have not forgotten about it. Yeah, I'm excited to get back into Deadman. I don't think it'll be obviously now or later, but it will be coming soon. I did not forget about Deadman Season 2. All right, next up, how hard have your meteorology classes been? Oh my goodness. I thought about switching my major to meteorology, but I realized I had to take up through Calc 4. Yeah, it's not fun. To say the very, very least, it's not fun. I have to take up to Calculus 6. I've really heavily considered making meteorology my minor, which I very well might do, and maybe potentially make emergency management my major. That way I still have a lot of meteorology in my degree. So it's something to think about, but yeah, no, if you're not good with math, it's a tough future. It really is, especially for me. I'm not good with math, so I'm really just here seeing how long I can hold on to meteorology before I have to kind of make a backup plan in a sense. But no, it's been tough. The intro classes they're mildly difficult. Um, but that's just my university's, meteorology. Of course, the one university that I choose is the one that makes calculus meteorology based, because all the other universities across the country, across the United States, are algebra based meteorology. So it is, in theory, a lot easier, but I just happen to choose the hard route, of course, right? so so there's that, but yeah, it's tough, man. It's real tough, but you'll get through it if you just dedicate enough time to it and everything. It is pretty worth it. Next here, a long dark related question. Ooh, this one's a good question. What is one weapon you would take out of the long dark and why? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, when I think of long dark, what's like one weapon that I don't really think of? To be honest with you, I don't really think of revolver. I think I'd take the revolver out and put in something else. Yeah, I really think I would. Now, the revolver is good, but it gets heavily overshadowed by the rifle. So I think in that regard, yeah, I think the revolvers would be the one that I take out of the game. Next up, where do you dream to work after graduating, and what made you interested in the weather? Ooh, two really solid questions here. So if I had to pick like a dream job to work after I graduate college, it would probably have to be the National Hurricane Center down in Miami, Florida. I have wanted to do something with hurricanes for the longest time, and very recently has this passion kind of really grown. If you follow me on Twitter or like on TikTok, you've probably seen a lot of hurricane related stuff. So I think National Hurricane Center would have to be my dream. And then what made you interested in the weather? Oh, this goes back a long ways. I've known what I wanted to do since like the second grade, man. It's been a long time. If I had to pinpoint a specific event, it would have to be the 2011 tornado outbreak that we had in New England. 2011 was just a monster year for tornadoes across the United States, but New England had our own tornado outbreak in June 2011. And I remember watching the news of Springfield, Massachusetts had a tornado come through there. So I remember watching the news about that, and I was really captivated ever since. I know later that year we had Hurricane Irene in August, I want to say, of that year. So that further got me interested. And then Hurricane Sandy the next year, which slammed into New Jersey. That was also a really big kind of weather experience for me. So I'd have to say a combination of those three is really what set me to be where I am today. Next up, hi Mike, great channel. What is one tool slash weapon you would add to the Long Dark? Thanks for the constant uploads. Hey, you're welcome, man. Constant, somewhat constant, but thank you for that good question there. What is one tool that I would add, huh? Oh, I tell you what. You know what I would add to the Long Dark? And this might be a hot take. I'm gonna say shotgun. I think I would add a shotgun over the revolver, to be honest. I think it would just take the place because I feel like if you're gonna go hunting, you do want that really close range weapon, and a shotgun will do it. I mean, hunters go out, hunting with shotguns and stuff. It definitely would take out a bear quite easily, at least more easily than a revolver would. Same thing with the moose. So yeah, I think I would add maybe like a 12 gauge pump shotgun or something to the Long Dark. You want to try to add items that are not too overpowered. So maybe make the shotgun like only effective at really, really close range. Um, but yeah, no, I think a shotgun in the game would be pretty cool. There'd have to be a lot of rebalancing, like I kind of touched on, but no, I think a shotgun in the game would be pretty cool. How did you find out about the Long Dark? Love the videos, by the way. Thank you for that comment. How did I find out about the Long Dark? Oh my goodness, I was in middle school, I think, back in 2017. So I was really early on the Long Dark train. Um, don't remember how I found out about it. Was it an Xbox sale? It might have been. It might have been. I remember when I found out about it. It was during Christmas break in either 7th or 8th grade. I think it was 8th grade. And yeah, I think the game was just on sale, and I decided, hey, I'll go ahead and give it a try. And it was one of the best games I played for the rest of Christmas break on The Long Dark. So yeah, that's how I found out about this game. And you can see, I've never really gotten over that playing The Long Dark. So it's been a good several years. Hi, Mike. Greetings from Argentina. I love your videos about The Long Dark. Have you ever played Project Zomboid? I have not, and I've actually seen quite a few people mention this game to me in my comments, so perhaps that's a game I need to try. Maybe that'll fall under the games that I want to try that are survival related. I don't know. I think that'll have to be a poll in the future because I have seen quite a bit of comments on that. So, yeah, maybe I'll have to do some thought about that. Thank you for the nice comment though. Argentina, huh? My goodness. That's pretty far from the US, but you're on the same landmass, I guess, right? North and South America. Anyway, thank you for that nice comment. Hey, Mike, I'm currently a senior in high school and I'm not planning to go to college. What do you think the best advice is that you have received in college? Okay, very, very interesting question. Well, let me start off first by saying that there is nothing wrong with not going to college. I think it can be really, really worthwhile, or it could be the biggest scam that you'll end up spending thousands on. If you're really passionate about something, like I was about weather, I knew what I wanted to do at a very early age. College was always kind of that thing that I knew I was going to have to go to. And for me, it's worth it because I'm, learning more about my passion. But if your passion doesn't involve, sitting in a classroom or something, that's totally fine. You don't want to get to college in your third year and you still don't know what to do. That's a rough thing right there, and it's an expensive thing right there as well. But I think my best advice to you, or to anybody that I have received in college, is that there's a lot of things, including time management. You learn very well, balancing perhaps a job, perhaps a YouTube career. You never know, and then homework and all that good stuff. But I would say, and this is an unfortunate thing that I'm going to say, but that most people don't grow up as fast as you do. You know, that's definitely the one thing, the one main thing that I've learned in college is that there are definitely people who are still in high school. And it is one of those things where obviously everybody matures at their own pace and everything, and that's something you'll learn going through college. So that'll probably be my one main advice from college is that, yeah, people take a little longer to mature than others, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you just don't want to stay in the high school mentality mindset forever because it's not very professional, and you'll kind of struggle in the adult world. But yeah, like I said, though, nothing wrong with not going to college. Nothing wrong at all. Do you plan on doing live streams on the Long Dark? And will you do fun videos with viewers when Black Frost comes out? Yes to both of these. I do want to stream at some point in the future. I don't know when that'll be. Like I said, you guys will be the first to know whenever I do decide and get the equipment for it. And I will, I think, be doing some videos with some content creators slash viewers. Gonna have to really gauge how Black Frost goes in the first few months, because from there I'll probably make a judgment on whether or not I want to play with other people. But it's in the back seat. I'm thinking about it. So yeah, good question. If you could improve the Long Dark in any way, how would you? Ooh, that's a deep question right there. I think part of the niceness about this game is that it's so simple. You know, it's so very simple. There's not a lot of aspects to the Long Dark. It's just you and nature and items scattered throughout the world. Anything that I'd fix on it would probably come in the wildlife department. Probably just balancing wildlife a little bit. I think what I would do is maybe make wolf spawns a little less more predictable and have kind of like quote wandering hordes almost like 7 Days to Die does, of just like wandering packs of wolves and wildlife and stuff. I don't think wildlife should necessarily be bound to a specific region within a region, if that makes sense. I think it should just kind of wander and take you by surprise a little bit, maybe outside of your base and camp office or something. But yeah, not a lot for this question, I'd say, that I'd improve on, but good question nonetheless. All right, for the next question, I love watching you playing. It's fun and sometimes comical. I just want to know if you're ever going to show your face. I know you talked about it in a video. Yeah, actually, I do plan on showing my face. You should stick around, by the way, at the end of the video here. You might be surprised. Good comment, though. How many subs slash views do you think it would take for you to consider doing YouTube full time? Oh my goodness. Um, well, the thing with YouTube is that you can have 1,000 subs and constantly rack in like 100,000 views, you know, and that would be okay full time. It's all about the views, believe it or not. Um, you know, for me, it's nice because YouTube is kind of like this side thing that I do in my free time, which is fantastic. But in terms of if I would ever do it full time, I think if I even got to a point where I was racking in like 50,000 views per video, don't even think I would do YouTube full time just because I'm in college and, you know, my passion kind of diverts me away from YouTube a little bit. But I mean, it would still be nice to have YouTube as a backup option in case things don't work out. Um, but in terms of how many subs slash views do I think it would take? Probably, like I said, getting upwards of maybe 30 to 50,000 views per video. That would definitely be more of like, oh, you know, that actually might be a full-time possibility. But nevertheless, though, good question, and it's definitely one that I think of here and there. Our next question, how did you decide upon your major? Well, like I said, I really was decided in second grade. I knew what I was going to do. A series of events helped really make that possible. And I've really just been going ever since. Ever since, man, I've been wanting to do something related to the weather. What are some plans for the future of the channel and for you? By the way, love how entertaining you are when playing the Long Dark. You always have something to say. Well, that's the beauty of being a TV meteorologist in training. I always need to talk. I always have to come up with something to say and make the conversation flow. So I'm happy you think that I'm somewhat good at that. But in terms of some plans for the channel in the future, definitely more the Long Dark. I think the Long Dark is the backbone of this channel. I think everybody watching this right now can agree. So safe to say that the Long Dark is not going anywhere. If I were to do other things, it would be either to continue our 7 Days to Die series or obviously Black Frost when it comes out. Maybe if I start getting a little bigger, we start talking about 50,000 subscribers perhaps, then I would want to maybe start introducing more games to the channel more frequently. That way it gives a little more variety to those who aren't necessarily too fond of the long dark, which if you're not fond of the long dark, that's totally fine. But yeah, a little diversity in the channel certainly cannot hurt. Here's our next question. This is a really good question. What do you think is the most scary or haunted place in the long dark? Oh, wow, that's a great question. So, in terms of like scariest place, I'm probably gonna have to say um, the Quonset Garage in Coastal Highway. That area is so tedious all the time, and you just never know what is over every snowbank. Yeah, definitely a top 10 scary place in the long dark. But in terms of haunted, now haunted and scary are like, kind of like two different things to me. Haunted is just kind of like scary slash like you get weirded out a little bit. I don't know where I would put the most haunted place. Maybe the hunting lodge in Broken Railroad. That could maybe be a contender, just because like every time I go in there, it's just like a big building that's just deserted. It's kind of haunting. Hibernia is also pretty haunting with all like the whale bones and stuff in the processing plant. Yeah, that's a great. I wish I had a better answer for you on the haunted place. Yeah, I'll have to give that one some more thought. But I think for right now, I can say Hibernia. Hibernia is a pretty haunted place, and even the yard in Hibernia too is pretty creepy, just because there's like so many sounds and stuff. So yeah, I'll run with Hibernia for that question. So good question though. All right, and that does it for just about all the questions that I was able to compile. I'm sure there were more out there, and if I missed you, I do apologize. If you leave your question on another video, or this one, I'm sure I will answer it for you. But I just want to take a second again and say thank you so much for 10,000, man. There's the same people that were around for like 150, 200 subscribers. I still see you guys in the comments today. It's so cool all these years later. But I never imagined that I'd get to 10,000. It's certainly pretty wild. It's pretty wild that 10,000 people would like to sit down and at least be content with me playing games and dealing with how stupid I can be sometimes. So I very much appreciate it. And like I said in some of the questions, there is a lot more coming to the channel. Hopefully, a little more of a schedule will be made with me and my college schedule so I can get videos out a little bit faster and in time. But yeah, for right now, I could die a happy man right now. I'm completely content with everything that's happened so far. And looking towards the future, I'm content with what may be coming. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it gave a little bit more of an insight as to who I am, perhaps. And I have just one more message for you guys. You guys might appreciate this. Hey, I don't think anybody was expecting this. A little bit of a Survivor Mike jump scare. Somebody was asking if I was going to do a face reveal, and I thought I wasn't going to at first, but then I thought about it, and I was like, 10K only happens once, so what the heck, right? What the heck? But I just wanted to check in person here with my face and everything. I'll even take off my sunglasses so you can see I'm a real person and say I am very grateful for 10K. It is one of those things you never really understand it until it happens, right? So it's cool to know that so many people are willing to sit through the stuff I play and listen to my voice, sometimes even when the commentary gets still. You guys still stick with me, and even if I miss a candy bar under a chair, you guys are still there pointing it out and finding what's wrong. So I do appreciate it. I really do. It's one of those things where not a lot of people, people go into YouTube, they want to do exactly what I'm doing, and most, never really get to this point. So it's really cool to be able to sit here and say, hey, 10K, 25K coming soon. I don't know. It's cool. It's all good things. So I just wanted to say quickly, thank you all so much. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I think that's all I have for now. Unless I missed anything. If I missed anything, it'll be in a community post as per usual. And if you did, I think I mentioned this also, but if you did have any comments that I missed, repost them maybe to this video or another community post or something. I will do my very best to get back to you on that. I want to give everybody a fair shot to ask a question. So yeah, if you have a question, just leave it below. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you all in the next video.